Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the one. Select a class is there in the Selenium. So this class is available in org.openqr.selenium.support.ui package. And this class has a one parameterized constructor. For this constructor, you have to pass the web element as an argument. So let me show you that also. So if you go to overview page, Selenium documentation. Basically, this is the Selenium documentation. So you can navigate from selenium.dev page. So you can access select class, right? You can see here select class. So select class is available in org.openqr.selenium.support.ui.select package. So this is the where you can find this select class. So can you see here the constructor? So web element is the argument for us. So how can you select an option from drop down? The steps you have to follow, same steps. First, identify the drop down and assign it to a variable of type web element. First, you have to identify which drop down option you want to select. That drop down you identify it using this below code. Web element drop down equal to driver dot find element by dot locator of locator value. So locators you all know: ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS selector, link text, partial link text, tag name. These are the locators. But locator is in the method format, right? That's why. So by dot class name, by dot ID, by dot name. So all you can replace here. This is a generic format I have given. So when you are identifying, you give that a locator name. Second step, create object for select class, because all these methods are non-static methods. So all these methods are in this class non-static methods. So you have to create object for the select class and pass the element reference. This element, this drop down name, you have to pass an element. So that's a select cell equal to new select of drop down. So cell dot select by visible text. You want to select an option from drop down by label text. So how can you select by label? What is a label? So how can you find a label? So the label means, if you go to create account page, see, you take any drop down. This is a country drop down, right? Just right click on this, inspect. What is the label text? So basically drop down is going to have which tag? Select tag will be there. But options are going to have option tag. So the label text means this one. The visible text means this one. Close option tag and open option tag in between the text, whatever is there, that is called label text or visible text. So that you want to select, which method you need to call? Cell dot select by visible text of label text. So give the label. So take from this HTML, from this place, from this any option, which option you want to select. So this option you can give there and it will select that option. Select an option by value attribute. So you can see here, select option tag inside, you have a value attribute. So based on this attribute value, you can select an option. One is selecting an option by label text. Second one is selecting an option by value attribute. And third one, select an option by position. By position also you can select. Cell dot select by index. Index means the order. So which order it is there. You have to count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. It's kind of, array kind of. Array means it starts with a 0 index, right? Or collection. It's a collection of elements you're fetching. So that's why these are starts with always with the 0, the first element. So like that, you can give index number also to select an option based on the index also. These are the 3 methods for selecting an option from drop down. You could just call the method and give the which option you want to select. Automatically, it will select from that drop down. And how can you fetch all the drop down options into collection? List web element OPT is equal to the select class object dot get options method you have to call. So now selecting a last option from drop down is cell dot select by index. How can you get the last option? Collection name dot size method -1. If you do, you'll get the last element index. That index based method you call, that is select by index method. So this is the interview question, one quick interview question. How can you select the last option from drop down? You have to tell first these 2 steps, then this step, then this step you have to write. How can you select the last option from drop down means? So how can you deselect an all options from the multi-selection drop down? There are 2 types of drop downs we have: single selection, multi-selection. Single selection means you can select only one option. Multi-selection means multi-select drop down will be there. Multiple options you can select. So cell dot deselect all method will be there. So deselect an option by label text. Cell dot deselect by visible text. Label text you can give. So deselect an option by value attribute. Cell dot deselect by value. You can give value, which value you want to deselect. You can deselect an option by position. Cell dot deselect by index, int index. So these are the different options you can give. How can you deselect is 3 methods. For selection, you have 3 methods. For deselecting, you have 3 methods. One, you can deselect all also. If you, for example, you selected multiple options, you want to deselect all of them, you can call this method. Just I already initially told everything methods. So they followed naming conventions of a method. This is how you can recognize the method. So method name followed by parenthesis. Method name followed by parenthesis. That's a method syntax. See, first word all lowercase. Deselect one word all lowercase. By B capital. Index I capital. Here also deselect. First word all lowercase. Second word annos. Each word first letter capital. That's the naming conventions of a class. And okay, we know about deselection. We know how to select. You can use 3 methods for selection and 4 methods for deselection. But how can you get all the selected options? For example, you selected 5 options. How can you get only selected options? You have a method like this. List. The return type of this method is list web element. What is the return type of get all selected options? Understand the English grammar also there. Get all selected options. That means already selected options you are getting. Many where you can store generally in the collection, right? That's the collection. List web element. So all these options are of type web element. And the collection name you give, and you can iterate this how many you want. Which is the first selected option from drop down. So web element, first selected option. So that means in out of 5 or 6 or whatever you selected, in that which one is the first selected option? Cell dot get first selected option. Get first selected option method you call, then that will give you the first selected option. And is multiple means to know whether the given drop down is single or multi-selection drop down. If cell dot is multiple method, and then so you can give that drop down code. And if it is a multi-selection drop down, you can write this code. Otherwise, you write a single selection drop down. Okay. So this is the how you can select an option from drop down. Even you can select a random options also by using the same, but one random class you are going to use. I'll just show you the code, how we can do. So let's jump onto the code quickly and we'll take it further. Same methods I'm calling. I'll just copy the code and we'll just quickly turn on the drop down code. Select class demo. I'll create a new package, drop down programs. In our blog, we have a scenario where you need to select a Rediff registration page country option. That you write a program with a default process. Yesterday I told you, right? Writing one method, with that method you select it and select the city also. So who are in the US or outside India, so you can select the India first, then you can select the city in the India. So otherwise, who are all in India, by default, India will be selected and city you select. So first, otherwise, both scenarios you try with the same process. Okay. So that's a practice. More practice is important. How many programs you write? So that you will get a stronger confidence. So this is the selected demo. See, I have just created the static WebDriver driver outside of the program, but I'm going to remove this concept because this is not required, right? We have to write WebDriver manager dot. I'll run on the Edge browser, okay? I'll run on Edge browser. Last class I ran in the Firefox browser, right? Now I will run on the Edge browser. Edge driver dot setup method. Then here you just give Edge driver. That's it. So I'm going to show different browsers how to run. So that you need to catch here. So import. So Edge driver. This is Edge driver is the class for Edge browser. So see, driver variable, I made it a global. I'm calling here. That driver value I'm passing. So new Edge driver. So maximize and add implicit wait. Driver dot manage dot timeout dot implicitly wait. Duration dot of seconds 10 seconds. Wait dot. So wait, this wait object also I made global. So why made static? Because it's the main method inside I'm calling wait. So that's why you have to call wait equal to new WebDriver wait driver comma duration dot of millis. That means 30 seconds I'm giving. 30,000 milliseconds means 30 seconds. So I'm just opening the Amazon.in and I'm just verifying the title Amazon.in because so if you open Amazon.in, you can see the so one of the option I'm selecting, right? One of the option I'm selecting. You can take any website. There are so many places you have drop downs. So this drop down I'm taking. So this is the drop down. So how do you know, sir, this is drop down? You just spy on that. So you'll get a select tag. You can see select tag. Select tag is that is a drop down, and select tag below you can see a lot of option tags. So many options are there. So I'm selecting one by one. So let's see here. So this is the title: online shopping site in India, online for mobiles, books, watches. So big the title. So I did a shortcut by making title contains Amazon.in. Then web element, the category drop. This name this drop down name is a category drop down, and find element by dot ID value, right? And where is this thing? Edge driver. So okay. So anyhow, so let me create a select class object. Select cell equal to new select. So the category drop down. So I told you select class has a parameterized constructor. So I'm passing the parameter web element type. I am passing to select class object. Then I'm selecting an option by label text. Cell dot this object reference dot select by visible text. So clothing and accessories. From where I got it? So you can see here. This is the value. This value I'm selecting clothing and accessories. This one I copied and I have given here. So fetch the selected option. I'm selecting, I'm getting that. So whether it is selected or not. How can you do that? Selected option by label text is cell dot get first selected option dot get text. So this will give you the web element. Web element dot get text we are using. So get text, so we'll give you the text of this web element. So which is selected, that our text it will give you. So that's the get text method, how it is useful. Second, select an option by value attribute. Cell dot select by value C. Set alias HPC. So this value we need to see where is that. Set alias HPC. This is the one. What is that? Health and personal care. See, health and personal care. This is the value attribute value. See, attribute name, this one value is an attribute. Option is a tag. Value is an attribute. Attribute equal to attribute value. So this attribute value, so I'm giving to select an option by calling this method. So then system.out.println. So selected option by value attribute is cell.get first selected option method we are calling. So select an option by index. Cell dot select by index one. I'm giving one means so second option, right? You can see first option all categories. Second option Alexa skills will select if you give one. That's the index number we are giving here. Okay, I'm getting that text also every time. So I'm selecting, I'm getting that text with a get first selected option, because one single selection drop down, it will select this one. If you select other one, the first selected one will gone. So this is a single selected option, right? It will be the latest one will be shown to you. The selection will be latest one. So now this time also latest one is Alexa skills. So now fetch all the drop down options using get options method, which returns a, what is the return type of this get options method? List angular bracket web element. What is the get options return type method? List of web elements it is going to give. That's why the return type method data type. So OPTS equal to cell dot get options. I told you already how to call return type non-static method. Data type of the method, the collection name. So object reference dot return type non-static method. Same formula, see how many times I'm using. I told you in the Java methods time. Now I'm reusing this method. These are all void methods. These are all void methods. But this one is a return type method. That's why I can call return type method even in the print statement, because this is giving a value to you. And even get text also returns a value. That's why get text also you can call in the print statement. Okay, how can you select a last option from drop down? This collection name dot size method. In the collection, there is a size method. You are calling that size -1. If you do, you'll get the last element index. So that you give. So if you got the index, you can call the select by index method. Cell dot select by index. So this is the value. So last selected option by position is cell dot get first selected option dot get text method. And you can, so for web element o colon options system dot out dot println o dot get text method, and then driver dot quit method you can call. Driver dot quit method you can call. It will close the entire browser. Okay, so let's call first this maven clean. I'm doing maven clean. Then maven install. So basically, if you use a test ng, it will run automatically. We are yet to go to the test ng, so we'll go slowly to the test ng. So I have to introduce this soon. Maybe in tomorrow's class onwards, we'll start the first unit. Then we'll go for the test ng. So let me show you here at least. I'll call this select cell equal to new select drop down. So, but problem is now, so here, this is how you can select an option from drop down. And another one is, how can you select a multiple options from drop down? So let me take this this statement to run this. I'm not using Maven project. I'm using a normal Java project. So if it is working for you, so you can run this. I don't know, for me it is not working. So you can try that. This is my Eclipse problem, not you won't get that problem. See, so this is the one we are getting. So let's get started with the. So how can you select a last option from drop down? So last option from drop down means multiple options, right? Multiple options we need to select. See, so this is the website. I'm giving this website even in our blog also you have that. So all you can see, everything in the blog you can see. So there is no deviation, everything you can see the scenarios also. See automation scenarios. You can go there and you can see that URL also. So these scenarios 3 are done, and 4 you practice, 5 you practice. Now using select class. This is the one just now I have shown you. Now, if you practice purpose, this is the multi-selection dropdown. So if you open this URL, so you have a URL in this blog also. So multi-selection dropdown means this is the multi-selection dropdown. That means you can select the multiple options. That's it. See, every selection will be retained for you. So this is a multi-selection dropdown. Okay. So how can you select these multiple options? So just calling the methods. Just calling the methods. That's it. Other than that, nothing there. So first, see, I'll again same code. What is that? Launch the Chrome browser, maximize the browser, add implicit weight. So add explicit weight. This is explicit weight. So weight equal to, why sir weight you put outside? I'm just showing how to use global variables, how to declare it. Driver, I made a global variable. Weight also I made a global variable. Tomorrow I have one more method so that I can use this driver in all the methods. Weight also I can use in all the methods. So I'm not writing any local variable again here. So data type I'm not writing here in the 27 line. I put outside already. This is the global variable, how to declare. Your object reference variable, you can make it a global. So these two are object references. So this is the new Chrome driver object reference, the driver. Global I made. Weight object reference, I made global. So you can call the driver and duration dot of millis. So the weight command, driver dot get, open this URL and verify the page title. Wait dot until expected conditions dot title contains test page select. So this is the page title. That page title I am using. So web element. So I'm identifying this drop down. I'm identifying this entire drop down. So what is the drop down code? You can see multi-selection drop down ID will be there. Multi-selection. So entire, see, select a tag. So fixed drop down means the select tag must be there. That's a clear indication for us. So ID is there. So I am using ID. So ID value. So this ID value you are getting from HTML. So then create, first identified the drop down, then creating object for select class, passing the MSDRP. So if cell dot is multiple, if this drop down is a multi-selection drop down, I'm writing the code. First select an option by label text. So cell dot select by visible text. I'm selecting first January. This is the label text or visible text. This I am selecting by giving the parameter. This is the parameterized method. I'm calling the parameterized method. So I'm giving my own option, which option I want to select. Then select an option by value attribute. Cell dot select by value. See March himself. See value attribute, you can see here. Value attribute and the value. March. MAR. Only I'm giving MAR. So not, you should not give this one. If you call the select by value attribute method, you have to give the attribute value. Value attribute you have to give. Select an option by index. Cell dot select by index 1. Cell dot select by visible text May. Cell dot select by value. So basically I'm taking multiple options I'm selecting here. So I selected the January, March, May, July, and the 8th option means September and November, and select by value. The same methods I'm repeating to select. So total some 8 options I selected, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 options I selected. Now I want to fetch all selected options. How can you fetch? selected options. So this one, list web element, selected options list equal to cell dot get all selected options. See, get all selected options. So I'm storing in the list type collection. What is the return type of get all selected options? List web element. So get options return type also list web element. Get all selected options also list web element. And there is one more find elements method return type also list web element. All this returns a list web element option. Now, see, how many are there in this collection? How do you know? Just call the size method. Everything collections here. How can you trade the collection? Using for each loop. For bracket. What is the data type of this collection? Web element. Just write web element. So OPT colon the collection name. This is the collection name. The collection name I'm writing here. Then how I want to get each option text. OPT dot OPT is the each web element. The web element dot get text method. I'm getting the text of that element. So I want to deselect some options. I'll deselect. I'm calling the deselect by visible text. And worry. Already selected one only can deselect. Unselected one you cannot deselect. That's why selected one only you have to give when you are calling the deselect by visible text method. So deselect by value much. Deselect by index 8. So I call the how many options we deselected? 3 options. Again I am calling get all selected options. Now we can see how many options are selected now. List web element selected options list equal to cell dot get all selected options. So again, so give this selected options list dot size method automatically it will give that. So for web element OPT colon selected options list 1. So the list 1 I have given. I'm separating this list and this list. That's why 1 I have given. So that selected options list 1 I'm iterating op dot get text. So I'm printing all the selected options after 3. So deselected. Now I'm calling a deselect all method. Now how many left now? 6 deselected out of 8. Now 2 left. All I'm deselecting all at a time. If you call the deselect all, it will deselect all of them at a time. So now you can see you will get a 0 here. So list web element selected options list equal to cell dot get all selected options. So now you will get a get all selected options. So you will get a 0 here. So list web element OPTS equal to cell dot. Again, I'm calling get options method. All the drop down options I'm getting into this collection, list collection. So I can select the last option from drop down. So which method you need to call? Select by index options dot size method -1. If you do last element index, you will get index based method. We have select by index method. So you can get the last option also. Cell dot get first selected option dot get text method. This is the method in the select class. This will return the web element. Web element dot get text you are calling. So that get text method we are using widely, and you can iterate this collection by using a for each loop. So else this is the single section drop down and close the browser. So driver dot quit. So this is the one. Just run this program. See, program is running successfully with the Chrome browser. See, very fast. It's selected. See, multiple options selected. You can see here total options selected 8, and these are the 8. So, and then we removed 3, number of options selected, deselecting 3, total left 5. Out of 8, 3 deselected, 5 left. Again, that 5 I am getting and printing them using for each loop. Again, so number of options selected after deselecting all, 0 is there. If you call the deselected, all are deselecting at it. Last option is December, right? From January to December, last option is December. So December is selected. Selected option you are getting with the get first selected option method. This is the total how we can deselect an option and select an option, multi-selection drop downs. You can use select class. It's very easy than previous method. You can use any one of them for selecting an option. The last one. So before moving on, how can you select a random options? So randomly you need to select. You don't want to select right one. So particular one, but it has to pick randomly in the drop down range. How can you select random options? No, so that we'll see now how you can select random options. See, again, same procedure I am doing, launching the Chrome browser, maximizing the window, adding implicit weight and weight object. So new WebDriver weight, driver comma duration dot off mill is 30,000 seconds I have given. So I'm launching the driver dot get method. So Amazon I am opening and verify the page title. So this is the page title. So partial page title I'm using. That's why title contains method I'm using. So identify the categories drop down. So categories drop down. This is the categories drop down of Amazon. So this drop down I'm identifying and then creating object for select class. Select class we're creating object. Then so get all the drop down options. List web element opt is equal to cell dot get options method. Get options method you have to call. So now all the drop down options. So we'll store in this OPTS collection. So get the size OPTS dot size method. So you create object for random class. So this is the java.util package. This class is available. Random or object equal to new random. So you iterate it. Iterate the because you want to select how many random options you want to select. That you give in the for loop. For int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5. I want to select 5 random options. I'm not giving particular option name. I want to select randomly any option. So that's my intention here. So I plus plus int I'm generating the random number. Int this is the return type method. How can you call return type method again? Same procedure. Data type of this method, variable name equal to object reference dot return type non-static method. So collection dot size. In this size only, this method will generate the random number that I'm storing here. Then you got the random number. Random number is nothing but an index of this drop down. So how can you select an option from drop down using index? Cell dot select by index method. So random number, I'm giving this random number, I'm giving every time that random number, it will select. So I will give, I'm printing which option is selected. Okay. You have given a random number. Okay. How do you know which option is selected? So selected option by position is cell dot get first selected option dot get text method you are calling will select. Okay. So let's see, run this program and you can see how you can select it. Randomly 5 options you will select. First, tools and home improvement, Amazon Fresh, software, luxury beauty, grocery, gourmet foods. These are the 5 options. See, drop down size is 43 are there, but the first random number is 38. The 38 related option is tools and home improvement. Second random number is 4. In the 1 to 43, the random numbers is generated by random class next int method. So these are 4 and Amazon Fresh. So 35 selected option by position is software. 27 selected option by position is luxury beauty. And 20 is the random number selected option by position is grocery and gourmet foods. So these are all the random numbers, and that random number related option text you are getting by get first selected option dot get text method. So this is all about drop down.